The fastest way to internalize the four-part structure is not to memorize it. It is to watch it operate inside feedback someone already wrote well. So I pulled the work development example straight out of the facilitator guide. And for each one, I want you to do the same thing. Hunt for all four parts: the criterion, the evidence, the explanation, the invitation. Once you can see the skeleton inside a finished comment, you can build it into your own. Here is the lens to carry through all three examples. Look for where the writer names the criterion, the specific competency or marker. Look for the evidence, an observable, time-stamped moment from the session. Look for the explanation of the gap, what was missing, and why it matters for that competency. And look for the invitation, a concrete behavior that would more fully demonstrate the skill. I am not asking you to admire these examples. I am asking you to reverse engineer them. Everyone was assembled from the same four pieces. Find the seams. First example, creating space for silence. Timestamps 10:02 to 11:52. Watch the four parts. The criterion is the coach's use of silence and reflection. The evidence is precise. Between 10:02 and 11:52, the coach moves straight to the next question. The gap, no space was created for the client to reflect before that next question arrived, and the invitation. Pause a few seconds between when the client finishes sharing and the next question you want to explore. Notice how small and concrete that ask is. It is not, be more present. It is, leave a few seconds. The coach can do that in their very next session. That is what a developmental invitation should feel like. Second example, deepening. Align to markers 7.1 and 7.3. The criterion is moving beyond actions and behaviors to the client's beliefs, assumptions, and recurring thought patterns. The gap, the coaching stayed at the surface on actions and next steps without exploring the beliefs shaping the client's experience. Here the invitation arrives as a model question. What beliefs might be driving that sense of responsibility? That one question does two jobs. It shows the coach the kind of question that opens the deeper layer, and it stays aligned to the competency. It is not the mentor showing off their own coaching. It is a clean illustration of what deepening sounds like. Third example, solution giving under core competency 7.3. The evidence is a single timestamp, 1525, where the coach offered advice, moving into solution giving instead of facilitating the client's own thinking. That is one of the most common patterns you will see, especially in newer coaches. The pull to help by telling. Look at how the feedback redirects. What have you already tried? And what ideas do you have about what might encourage more engagement? Those questions are not a scolding. They are a demonstration. Here is how you stay in the coaching role at the exact moment you were tempted to leave it. The invitation hands the coach the alternative move right where they needed it. Let me read one of these the way it actually appears so you hear it as one connected comment. The coach can work on creating more space for silence, pause, and reflection. One option is to provide a few seconds between when the client finishes sharing and the next question. Hear the flow there. Client shares, coach pauses, then the next question. That little 3-beat rhythm is the entire fix. And notice what the comment is: observable, specific, and forward-looking. It points at a moment that actually happened and at a moment that could happen next. That is what a complete piece of development feedback looks like in practice. A behavior the coach watched themselves skip, and a behavior they can add. Now notice what every one of these examples refuses to do. None of them shame the coach. Not one makes a judgment about their character or their worth as a practitioner. There is no "you are not curious enough," just behavior. Each one identifies a specific, time-stamped, observable moment in the recorded session. Not a vibe, not an overall impression, a moment you could rewind to and watch, and each invites a concrete behavior that would more fully demonstrate the competency. Not be more present, but an actual move the coach can make. That combination, observable moment plus concrete invitation with no shame anywhere, is the entire discipline of development feedback. So here is what to carry out of these examples. Observable moment, invitation to grow, never shame. Strong development feedback identifies a moment you can point to and invites a behavior that closes the gap, and it never touches the person. Run the 4-part check on your own comments the way you ran it here. Name it criterion plus timestamp. Show it evidence from the session. Bridge it, explain the gap, invite it, offer a growth behavior. You can build these now. The next question is which markers you attach them to and whether you write in narrative or bullets. That is where we go next.